Give Wright State a ton of credit today. They came out, they played very hard, they executed their game plan well. They were a fine-tuned engine today. And don't let the record fool you. They were well coached, and they earned the victory clearly. They were the better team, and we got to get back to it after a game like this. We got to get back after it again and just continue to look to get better after a lopsided loss like this.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys weren't in it from the very start. A game you kind of want to forget, I guess?
No, I won't want to forget it. Every game we play, whether it's a big win or a big loss, we'll just look in the mirror about it. We'll clip the game just like we always clip the game. We'll look at the ugly plays that we needed to do better, how they really did a great job of controlling the tempo, at Wright State that is, controlling the tempo, really pushing the ball hard on us. We got to look at this. We got to face the music. Teaching them to just ignore things and it'll go away, that's not going to work. It never works. Some people might be pushing that nowadays. Not me. I want to show them about what life is about. Life is about adversity, tough moments, injuries, short rosters, no excuses with that. Step up, accept what we have, know what we have, be appreciative of what we have, but don't ever just tuck it away and say, I don't want to think about this. We have to look at this, we have to face it, and we got to get better this week. We got to have a much better mentality going in on Thursday because we got another tough opponent.
When you have a game like this, and you mentioned that you want to look at it with the team, does the team buy into that with the coaching staff and to look at this game today?
Oh, absolutely. There would be some significant changes if the team wasn't staying positive, working hard, understanding about not questioning what we do. That's a big thing that we talked about even in the beginning of the season when we had some nice wins and we started off really well in the non-conference and we were healthy. That we constantly talk about that. So you just, if you're a consistent team, it's a consistent culture. Our pillars, humility, not thinking too much of yourself, not thinking too little of yourself. And there's no high and low in that. You got to be someone that has that same opinion of yourself by doing the right thing, working hard every day, but not getting high and low. So, today's game, you saw us at the end of the game. You see us diving on the floor for loose balls. You see our bench up going after it again. There's no check out in that area at all. Anybody that says that's lying to themselves. We're getting on the floor, we're trying hard, but we did not execute the game plan as well as we needed to on both ends of the floor. We got to play hard with intelligence. We've got to, be able to handle a short turnaround like we have in the conference and play less than 48 hours and then come back and get that next scouting report in a different way than you do before the first prep. Because the first game, you got days to prepare. That second game, it's a quick turnaround, and you got to learn the team quickly, and you got to be willing to go out there and execute the game plan, and that's a growth thing. There's certain things that you have to go out there and drill and drill and drill, like repetition is going to help you get it. But at this level, in this kind of setup that we have for our conference games, you got to turn around quickly and play that second game, kind of like we did against IUPUI and had a nice win. But it's a learning process. So I won't try to sugarcoat anything or manipulate everything. They know I love them. But they got to hear the truth, and we got to execute the game plan better. And like I said, Wright State gets a lot of credit for what they did today. I can't say that, we were out there not trying hard. We tried hard in a lot of areas, but we need to be better.
A season split between Wright State. It was a blowout win for you guys early in the year. It was a blowout also for you guys for this one. Had a great three-point shooting the first game, wasn't today. What do you think was the difference between those two games?
Well, their coach did a nice job of obviously preparing them again. Last game when we hit those shots, they were willing to give that up. Sometimes when you hit shots and you hit threes and you do things like that, it's because of how you attack what they're giving you. And certain games we shot the ball real well, and certain games we really struggled to shoot the ball. And so we can't live and die by our shooting percentage from the three-point line. We got to keep working at it. Got to be way more consistent on it. We had some really good looks. If you go back on our missed threes, not many of them were forces. Most of them were where we were open without even a contest. And And so that can be really challenging mentally, that you're getting open shots and you're missing. And when you force one up and you say, oh, that was a tough shot on me, it was end of the clock. But when you're getting the good look, where you got time to set and shoot and you're missing, that's the mental battle of saying, we can't live off of that. We still got to get down the floor and defend. And that's where they were a step ahead of us today. Not a step ahead of us with we didn't know what they were going to do. A step ahead of us that we weren't willing to do the job to take away their comfort zone in that offense. And I thought that was a bigger part of the game today, was the defensive side of the ball. Missing shots, not finishing. It was frustrating at times for sure. There's no question. We got the ball near the basket. We're powering up 2-3 rebounds in a row. Contested, uncontested, but not finishing. That's frustrating. But if that affects you on the defensive end, where you're not now focusing in on the scout, you're playing hard, but you're not focusing in on taking something away you need to, that's where you go down like we did today. Playing hard is one thing, but you've got to also understand that after things are struggling on offense, you've got to go back to the defensive end and not lose what the focus is on what you need to take away on. And we didn't take away a lot of times. We played hard, but we didn't play with our mind.
You mentioned a little bit ago the team continuing to fight throughout the game. I think one person that kind of exemplified that was Simone Morris, finished with a double-double. It seemed like she was real scrappy. Early on, she hit the deck a couple times. Looked like she was injured. You just talk about her play today.
Moni's been one that's her nickname. She's been one that has really had her struggles finishing this year. She's someone that really looks and she has the ability to finish better than she has. But it hasn't been from a lack of effort. It has not been for a lack of effort. We continue to work with her on it. And she's done something this year that might not get noticed as much because most teams play with a lot of times 4 guards. And she was a guard last year. And she went to the forward this year. So she took that on, and I'm proud of her for that because there was no hesitation. And, she accepted it. Whatever the team needs, she was willing to do there. And she still gets her chance to play like a guard sometimes and knock her shot down, but going around the basket as a forward more is something that we've asked of her. And she's going hard, crashing, rebounding, trying to go up and finish. That ball just doesn't fall sometimes for her. But it's nice to see it going a little bit more today and just see her again not have a day where, that lack of finishing has brought her away. I think those are the good examples of saying the buy-in. You see how many times we hustle to get in that gap, or we're going after that offensive rebound, trying to put it in. Those are the things that anybody should look at and say, they're continuing to fight. The ball's not going in, and they're losing their mind sometimes on defense, but this team's continuing to work hard. We have a short roster, and they're working hard.
Talking about the mental side, now after this kind of loss, how do you go into the next game probably on like a clean slate or a fresh slate?
Well, you got to, again, face the music. You got to do what you normally do. You can't treat it differently where now it's like, okay, now we're going to change it all up. Like, I don't believe in that. Like, sometimes when people ask me, what adjustments are you going to make? We're going to do what we do better. We're going to find ways in what we do. We're not going to question what we do. And we're going to figure out in our system, offensively and defensively, where we missed and where we can't miss that again. We can't miss that assignment. We can't lose it mentally because of the offensive side of the balls, and then we don't understand, we're not ready for the next action down the floor defensively. So facing the music, knowing that, the next opponent's going to be a different opponent. They're going to have different players, they're going to have different offense. But a lot of the stuff that we missed on, we're going to need to execute the next game plan. Whether it's the same thing that takes them out of their offense or it's not, you've got to still execute the details. And we got a challenge with that. Obviously, Cleveland State's a very good offensive team, and they play definitely a different defense. So we got to get right back to it, and then learn from our mistakes and be ready to execute on the game plan much better on Thursday.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're all set.